All right, guys, welcome to today's special Guucast episode. We're going to be talking about two very important questions, which is number one, do we need a ban list right now? And number two, if a ban list were to come, what would we, expect? Like, what cars would you expect to be on there, right? So, I guess to answer the first part, before we get to jump into all of this, I'm here with Nesh, my boy Neshalo. And
What's up, boys?
and yes, we're gonna have a discussion on the first topic, which is, do you think we need a ban list? What do you think, Nash?
Yes. Okay, we can move to the next episode. See ya. No, yeah. So basic, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sick of cash. Okay, everyone is sick of cash.
Yep.
Even my mother that doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh is sick of cash. Like holy shit. Like I cannot stand it no more.
Yeah, cash is
Prosperity change.
cash
Like,
has been a
come
big
on.
cash has been a big problem, right? How long has that deck been around? Like I think like it's been around for a minute now, no?
Yeah, but also cause of cash, like there are so many strategies that are not viable yet in their full power. Like for example, we see Unchained, like we see the SQAs. Like I wanna play those decks. I wanna try to pop off with
Yeah.
those decks. There are new strategy from the new set. I wanna play those cards. If Konami really wants us to buy those cards, they should actually just erase cash at all.
Yeah. I do think that Kashtira being unhit, like, and I think the one unicorn from 3 to 2 was almost like kind of troll. Like, and then they banned Diablosis after, and guess what? The deck is literally still winning regionals, still winning YCSs. Like, it's just actually crazy. I think it won
Like
YCS
this,
Philly the first. Oh, it won YCS Philly before the ban list, and then at right after YCS Philly was the 250th, and at the 250th, it literally won the 250th. Right after the hit, like nothing changed, and then at Nats, it literally topped Nats, won Nats. It's just so crazy. It dominated Nats, right? Um,
yes.
of course, and then you have people like me trying to cope on Pearly, at nationals, but overall, like I think that the deck, like Shifter and a Rise Heart, it's so powerful that like it made so many decks unplayable. So you kind of have to make those meta calls where you play like Pearly or something that doesn't care about Shifter, and like it still hurts a little. All right, but we should also talk about other decks too. Like, what other decks in the form like Runix was the counter to Kashtira, right? Kinda in a way.
Yeah.
And that deck
Yeah.
is also very
Yeah.
broken. Like bro, like Runic Fountain and those cards are really busted into. Like, I think Runic cards
Yeah.
are like the best cards against like any sort of mid range decks, right? So like, and the thing is, you also don't necessarily want combo decks in the game because combo decks in the game makes it like super dice roll, kind of. So
Yeah, the issue about Runic is the fact that now it's kind of kept in check by Purely. It's like your six flex spot cannot cover anymore a
yeah,
wide field, if you get what I mean. Like
yeah,
you have to be very specific with the flex spots of that deck, and like Purely actually punish you for skipping your battle phase and on clearing like everybody every time.
yeah.
Like
Clearing
it's
everybody, clearing every my friend. Yeah,
yeah, and also obviously like we have happiness that protects,
yep.
and like Runic has such an hard time. We saw though actually a good Runic version popping off recently.
Which one?
I tried it. The Runic with Chimera. Like the Runic Chimera actually has some sort of a synergy
Yeah,
because the Runic can special summon a beast from the extra deck, and then you can go for the Chimera combo that kinda gives you recovery. I tried to confront this version with the Naturia version.
yep.
I At the end of the day, I decided the Naturia version was better in terms of follow up, and also because they added the discard fodder that the fusion version is missing. But the Chimera are custom cards. Don't
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah, Chimera cards are pretty cool, dude. Pretty good too. I think like I think we can all agree that we do need a ban list, right? So how about we get into um our ban list prediction, right?
Yeah.
Because let's say we do need a ban list. Well, what cards should get hit? So we have the ban section, right? And the limited, semi-limited, and the unlimited section. And this is D section. I'm gonna delete that. But
Yeah, this actually is maybe we can do something about. Okay,
like
never mind.
discussion, you mean?
Yeah, maybe just a theory crafting about like ideally what should happen and
Mm-hmm.
what's not happening. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ideally
Okay.
speaking, what we hope it will happen. But
Okay, we can add a roll below. So we can have this one as a discussion. How about that?
yeah,
To be disgusted. Okay, um, so right now, like these are it's like we can start off, I guess, with just with what we have right here. So on the far left, we have Invoker, MX Saber Invoker. Do you think it should stay banned?
Think about it. Let me think about it. So it's special summons a Beast Warrior, right?
A Beast Warrior, yeah.
A Beast Warrior from your deck. Which Beast Warrior level 3 is actually right now? Like, is there any good Beast Warrior that comes in my mind?
Warrior.
Actually, like
You can also summon Warrior.
also no, Warrior is an issue. I think.
Yeah.
I think Warrior might be an issue.
Yeah.
Warrior level 3 might be an issue, to be honest.
I'm not trying to find out. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep this card banned.
I think it has potential for danger.
Yeah.
But I don't see it right now to be very, overwhelming in terms of combo, but like it has potential for danger. So a card that has potential for danger, in my opinion, should stay banned.
Yep.
Uh,
The next 3 cards is related to the plant deck. So we know that Rikas and Avalon performed really well at Worlds. It took out 2 out of top 8 spots at Worlds. I think first and second place were plant duelists. Right, we had Jess and we had Gabriel Susi playing the plant deck at Worlds. And I think Jess won European Championship with Rikas and Avalon, and the deck has been around for almost 2 years. What do you think? Do you think the plant deck should get burned? Or you know what I'm saying?
like,
I think so. It should get hit in some way, no?
yes, it has to be hit in a way, but to be honest, like Christian got like literally an aneurysm in the final to make.
Yeah, but like even if it didn't win, it still got like, let's say Christian did win somehow, it still would have gotten second. Like I still think the deck is actually like decent, you know? Like I feel like when everything else gets hit, like let's say like you hit a Rise Heart, right? Then the plant deck can like just, I don't know, like
I think we should eat in a way that doesn't kill the deck.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we can talk about maybe limiting Jasmine or limiting Dryas, but that's what I would do. I don't think I would ban the Logi because I think it's such a cool deck and like such cool interaction. The fact that it's a vanilla monster, all the good stuff. And also the more I think about Invoker, maybe I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So like maybe like, yeah, someone in the chat made a really good point. Like the better the plant pool becomes, Jasmine become at some point just gets banned, which also makes sense. And I think like another point that was made was that the critical mass of just generic plant cards can be too much again, similar to like dragons, where like you keep getting more dragon cards and it's like just super busted. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do agree on that.
I mean, like, yeah, Jasmine is literally generic plant support. Literally lone fires any plant monster from your deck, right? Like, conceptually the card is just busted. it's like a link. It's like a link lone fire, and like obviously it has bonus effects beyond just that. But I think that's just crazy in my opinion.
I mean, we ban Judgment, don't we kill the deck in a way? I mean, maybe they will play more Erika version, right? Like they will play more of Erika version. Or if we limit Dryas, that also works, right? Like so they cannot abuse of Jasmine. But yes, Jasmine being a generic access to any plant deck, like deserves an hit.
It's so funny because
I feel so bad.
This card came out in the same pack as Hulky Fibrax, right? In dual overload. So it's like, and a lot of dual overload cards, like what was the Link 1 that came out in dual overload 2? Link Cross came out in dual overload 2. Bro, I think we're seeing a trend that with all the dual overload cards, like Anaconda came out in dual overload, like all the dual overload Link monsters are just so broken. Like they're just bonkers.
That was such a busted set.
Yeah, Heavenly Seals. Yeah, Heavenly Seals was a dual overload card. Like, yeah, all these broken ass cards just came out of dual overload, basically. It was just crazy.
Yeah, like it's actually so busted. So I would eat it, but I don't know if I want to limit it or I want to ban it.
Yeah.
Like ban it, like feels so bad actually to ban it. Maybe might be the case. But,
I feel like you ban it and you force people to play more of a Rika version.
Sure, like I can get behind that.
Like limiting it, they just still do the combo. Like they just change the combo so that they only utilize one Jasmine in their combo instead of using 2. You know?
Yeah, I can get behind that.
So
I can.
And I think we keep Dryas and Lokai in like the section to not be untouched, basically.
Yeah, I mean, if we touch one, to be honest, like if we touch one, like touching also another one would be overkill. Please don't.
Mm-hmm. So next we have Pankratops. What are your thoughts? Okay, I wanted to put Pankratops in with the same discussion as Pank, Unicorn, Raysots, Frenir, right. Sorry, let me just put them all together because I think like, okay, let's talk about Pankratops real quick first. What do you like? What do you think about Pank? And I think this is kind of the
Okay.
same discussion you'll have with Pank and Frenir. So let's talk about Pank and Frenir together.
Okay, so Pancratops before was a huge card, okay, because entering in battle phase was trading 2 bodies for 1. Now, in my opinion, if you enter in battle phase, you lost the game. That's my main concern right now about Pank. I don't think the card is that insane as it was supposed to be as before, because like the mechanic of entering battle phase in order to check interruption and play main phase 2 was such a huge thing in the past. Now most of the deck have to play main phase 1, flip a board, and establish in main phase 2. If you enter too early into the battle phase, you kind of lose the game most of the time. So Pancratops, in my opinion, it's a trade 1 for 1. It's not a trade 1 for 2 anymore, which makes the card fair and can go back to trade.
I think Pank can be a 3 of. But I think it just depends on the format because like in a mid-range format, Pank is actually kind of oppressive.
It is very oppressive. Maybe we can try it at 2.
No, because Pank is actually conceptually a really broken card.
There are also multiple access to Pank. Like you can go Foolish Goods to send the field spell of Dino Restal in order to special summon it from the deck that has more access than Ferrir. But like I don't think the card is that broken. Like how many decks did you see topping with Pancratops in the deck? Like if you think the card is that broken, why people are not playing it right now? Because it's not the right format.
It's because of that one. I think I would play Pank if I had one slot in my side deck. Pank trades with a Rise Heart too. It trades with like a Rise Heart, which is like a 1-for-1. Obviously, it's not that good, but it also outs like floodgates, out skill drains. It kills like trap decks really well.
It's such the perfect flex spot. Like if you are missing something in your side deck that like fixes that you need to fix a back row matchup and a combo matchup or a mid range matchup, like Pancratops is the perfect card to put in your side deck. But otherwise, I would consider the card kind of mid respect to fair.
Okay, how about we give it the 2 of treatment? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think
you give it the 2 of treatment, and I think Frenir should get banned. What are your thoughts on this? I think this card should get banned.
Oh, I do agree on that. That motherfucker has to go.
Yo, that card is
that's
broken.
the door. That's the door. Every deck is abusing of this card. It's the perfect starter going first. It's the perfect board breaker going second. Plays very well into main phase 1. Recover itself by adding another copy. Like, what the fuck you want more from a card?
Yo, Fenrir is actually too broken. Like, I think like you know what's so funny? I was playing on DB the other day, right? And this guy summoned Fenrir. All right, I was testing out the Rescue Ace deck. Okay, my opponent summoned Fenrir. I have no idea what he's playing. I literally went effect, pop that shit, right? With Hydra on board, so he can't activate anymore, right? And then he went like summon Sprite monsters. But you see the point there? The fact that the Fenrir just like made me like shiver in my boots. I was literally scrambling. I was like, oh nah, my opponent summoned Fenrir. I have to do something here. Like it's just so crazy.
Fenrir forces early interruptions. Like that the card is. Like I was watching the stream of Joshua today. He decided to put like Fenrir at 2. I was like, and to banish Arise, to ban Arise. Like his point made sense to me because he said, okay, I want to ban Arise. I want to make Kashtira a fair deck. My main issue with that is the fact that you can, like Konami after that, if you actually semi-limit fairly, you cannot print any more rank 7 that are good in the game. Because otherwise, you know that Kashtira is going to abuse of those, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to kill Kashtira at this point, and also won everything. And also Fenrir, you have to see how much that card is splashable in every other version. And it's not only pure Kashtira. You might see Kashtira Mannadium. You can see like we already saw Kashtira Mannadium in the semi-final with Oban. Like there are versions of this deck. There are versions in which Fenrir props off.
Will be played in every deck, and they just put it in for going first. And like it's like a really good generic card that also works going second. Like I think like you have to ban this card, or like it's just like way too powerful of a card because by itself it's almost a +2 sometimes. Like and so I would ban this card. And I would move Pank up to like 2, for example. It's just too generic of a card. Like Purely could play it going first to get extra discard engine, right? Like the Mannadium deck can utilize it. Like any Sprite deck utilizes Fenrir going first. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just really really good card. So I would ban it personally, and I would keep Unicorn. at 2. That's my
Also,
thoughts.
I'm sorry to go back to the point,
Yeah.
but I checked all the targets of Invoker. Invoker is not a threat.
Invoker's not a
Like
threat.
in the manual we were talking, yeah, it's not a threat.
Alright.
Like I checked all the possible. I read all of those while we were discussing. Like I told you, like there were potential for danger, but there is no potential for danger.
Okay. What do you think about Unicorn? You think Unicorn is
Unicorn
fine?
like can stay at 3 if you ban Ferrir.
Yeah,
Like who gives a fuck?
yeah, I think it just stays at 2 or 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like chill, you know? Like no problem. You can have it at 3, dog, no
Yeah.
problem. But I think they just play
Yeah.
like birth control, right? Wait, that
Yeah,
sounded
like-
funny. Birth control.
No, like
But yeah, I think you can put it at 3 now after you ban Frenny, you know? No problem. Racos.
yeah, it can be a 3, but like why would you touch it from the same limits? Like, bro, I want that shit to go away. I don't want to see Kashtira be played anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Then you have this here, a Rise Heart. I think you just keep a Rise Heart at 1. Is you know what I'm saying?
Arise at 1. There might be maybe some version that might play the card, but I don't like to be honest. Without Ferrier,
I think without Frenny, I
I'm
think you
fine with
solved.
that.
I think you solved the issue with his deck just by banning Frenny. Like I think you can keep everything else. Like no cat.
Like, what are people gonna do? Like coping about using extender to summon level 7 to make a rise?
Yeah, I think they'll play like you know the thing that makes you lose like 5,000 life points to summon. What is that card called? Or 3K?
Yeah, there is also the spell, right? There is also the Neo.
Oh yeah, the Neo spell. I think you can keep it at 1. So maybe some people play like Cash, like Ascendant of Thunder, and like maybe they play like the instant fusion that summons level 7s. Like sure, if people want to do that, they can, you know. But I think like you make it like still kind of playable, but it's definitely not as oppressive as before, you know.
I mean, a rise pass. It's what up, but there is no recovery. Like
There's no recovery. It's not the same type of recovery. Yeah.
It's not the same time of recovery, right? Like,
I think you still put it at 1, and I think you just like let people try to make it good, you know.
I think it's doable.
Yeah.
I think it's doable.
And Birth.
to make
What
it
about
good.
Birth? I think you should keep Birth at 3 then.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think if we ban Ferrit, I think it's
Like
fair to not touch
yeah.
anything else.
So this is like one way to hit the deck. The other way to hit the deck, I think you put a Unicorn at 1, Birth at 1, Racels at 1, Frenier at 2. That's the other way to hit the deck, I think. Like if you want to look at a different approach, you could do something like this. Like, but if I think like if you ban Frenier, you solve the main. Like you literally don't have to touch any part of the cash engine if you ban Frenier. I'm not even trolling. Like Frenier is actually a huge issue. Like Unicorn just summons Frenier from the deck. That's what Unicorn does. If you really think about it, at the end of the day.
Yeah, like when I play against Cash and I have actual interruption and they special summon Unicorn, I don't care about Unicorn. Like I let Unicorn resolve most of the time. Like the real threat.
You ask Theosis because you're afraid of them getting to Frenier. Because Frenier gets another card and like all the good stuff.
Yeah, like the real deal is Ferrir on the board. I don't think Unicorn is an issue. Birth is obviously like a recovery issue, but the recovery is them like it recovering Ferrir. Like again, like we go back to the same point.
And then Shan, and then someone in the chat says Shan can't summon anything good anymore, and they have to play bad extenders for a rise. Yeah, I'm down for that. They have to play shit extenders, like you know what I'm saying? I think this is fine. Just keep it like this. Keep ratios at 3, Birth at 3, no problem. But like I said, I think maybe Konami hits it this way. I think maybe Konami wants to hit it this. Like if I work in Konami's shoes, I think Konami would do something like this, in my opinion. Like 2 Frenier to 2, Birth to 1, Unicorn to 1, Racers to 1. They historically they've done like those type of ban lists, if that makes sense. They've done like the 1 of ban lists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
but that's fixable, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Like that, like if you eat like this, I can still see someone try to go.
Someone
like,
try
to go small world. Try to go small world and play the.
Oh my god.
Small world package with what's name? The level 4 that has the field spell, right?
Yeah.
Like the one that they tried in OCG.
Yeah.
The most level 4 tributes add the field spell and add fair or unicorn. Like
Panic Pathfinder. I'm just gonna do this. I think this actually solves the issue of the deck. This actually solves cash from being an issue. I'm gonna do it like this. Okay. Next. Okay, let's talk about the Labyrinth deck now. That was the other deck I want to talk about now. So let me pull up all the lab cards. So I'm not gonna ban Welcome. I think the only cards I wanted to talk about were Big Welcome and like Clue Clock. And
Yeah,
the only reason why
Clue
Clue Clock is on here is because Ryan decided to play this shit at fucking 3 in Toronto. So I don't know, man. Ryan, if this shit get banned, that's on you, dog. That's on you. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think Ku Klux is what actually makes the
Ban
deck
the
super
clock, bro.
viable.
I mean, clock.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you ban the clock, now you actually make the deck like a trap deck.
Yeah.
Like it's not anymore as versatile as before. The moment you touch the clock, the moment you touch the clock, it's like
Yeah. So okay. What do you think about putting? I think Big Welcome getting touched doesn't matter as long as there's one copy. The only time it's bad is if you put it at 1. If that makes sense. So like this card can't be a one of, or I think you'll kill the deck because like once you put it in the graveyard, you have to like banish it and all that good stuff. I think 2 is probably makes it still playable, but it hits consistency a little bit, but they just play out max furnitures, right? I think you have to
Yeah.
ban Ku Clock.
yeah.
I think like the turn 1 hand loop thing is actually like not balanced. And I think this to 2 is probably makes the deck still playable, so it's not too bad. Ban Big Welcome, yo Joe, you might have to. But I think 2 makes it so it's still playable. So I don't know. But the Ku Clock is just like too broken. Like literally turn 0 erads you on the next turn. Like it's just like too
I
disgusting.
don't care about Big Welcome. Like Big Welcome gives like space for mind games and stuff, like
Yeah.
with multiple technical plays and interruption. Ku Klux is just out of their like just goes out of the way of a normal trap deck, making the deck actually super viable in going second strategy. Like which, in my opinion, makes the deck too broken.
Yep. I'm gonna leave all the floodgates to be disgusted because I feel like that'll be like a topic that will be better suited combined, right?
They will hate me. I will get a lot of backlash.
All right.
when I will talk to
How about we
those
talk
people.
about it now? Okay. What do you think about floodgates? What do you think about floodgates?
Okay.
So
Okay.
we do have
Yeah.
EV, skill drain, anti spell, barrier, and then TC boo.
I will get a lot of backlash right here. I
Give me
know
the quick
people will
rundown.
insult me. Okay, my quick rundown is basically the fact that floodgates always exist. We always played with floodgates in any format. Okay, starting from 2005, there were Light of Intervention that was against flip decks. Okay, Europe, like you could not flip monsters, or you could not set monsters at all. Seamorg is another floodgate. Dimensional, the one that banishes every monster, like what's the name? Dimensional.
Fissure.
The trap.
Fissure. Oh,
No, the trap.
Macrocosmos.
Yeah, no, the other trap, the one like dimensional body but banish all the monsters sent to the graveyard.
No,
DDG,
yeah, DDG.
the different dimensional ground, right? Like there are floodgates every format, okay? And also during the BA format there were floodgates. There will always exist floodgates. The only reason why trap decks are still a viable strategy is cause of floodgates. The moment you remove all the floodgates from the game, there is not anymore a trap version. There is not anymore a trap strategy. Like the trap strategy is not anymore viable. And as sad as it might look like, that's what Yu-Gi-Oh right now is in terms of traps. So I don't think banning floodgates solves the issue.
Yeah.
Because there are always alternatives.
Okay.
Then we might think about maybe the most broken one, like Eradicator, because it's multiple cards. But in terms of anti-spell, in terms of barrier, they kinda limit degenerate strategy. Brother, the branded deck, okay? I do agree. I love the branded deck. But if you let that shit go, it creates an infinity loop. Like you are not getting out of here. Like it's an infinity grind game, and I'm winning that. Like, do you really want to play in an infinity grind game against a branded deck with only 40 minutes on the time? Like, it's not doable. You need actually Floodgate.
Alright, Naz, you done?
Yes.
Alright, honestly, I think floodgates, the approach I have for them is I think they should be limited. I think they should be I think there should be less copies of them. Like that makes sense. Like I think if your opponent like hard, I guess like you can always search them with Pot of Prosperity as well. But I actually want to hit Pot of Prosperity. But I think with the floodgates is I think you just put them all at 1. Is that like a bad take? Like just put them all at 1. Because I feel
At
like
1,
my
like
issue with them is that like if you hard draw them, like there's just like no outplay kind of, you know? And like I took inspiration from the Master Duel ban list for Worlds and also for like the World's Championship ban list for TCG. And that's what they did. They put Skill Drain at 1. They put TCB at 1. Like no, I guess they keep TCB at 3, but they kept a lot of Floods at 1. They put a lot of Floods at 1. So maybe that's something that we could also try, you know? Like maybe we don't kill
I
the
mean,
Floods, but we lower the consistency of those Floods, right?
I think lowering the consistency makes sense. Like I do actually, I can agree on that take.
Yeah.
In terms of if you want to lower the consistency of the food gate, you have also to take in consideration the new cards that are gonna come up, like transition rollback, like the new card for
Yeah.
labyrinth.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one target a normal trap in your graveyard, and this effect becomes the normal traps effect, right?
Yeah.
The unit it's activated. So think about it. The moment you decide to limit a normal trap floodgate, there is just a rollback that's gonna just copy it at this point, right?
Yeah.
So we have also to take in consideration like the future cards that are gonna come up in the.
I think like
in
I mean like that's fine.
space.
They still have to like I think these cards you can just put them at 1 and just put them on better draw, to be honest. Better draw this.
I mean, like labyrinth search those, but yeah, we can.
You know what I'm saying? Better do it. I know Labyrinth can search the normal traps. I think that's always gonna be a thing, but they have to open the combo to do it. So like it's not like guaranteed every hand. You have hand traps like Ash as well. Like you have quick play to chain block the lady. Like you know what I'm saying? Like they might not always get to it, bro. Like when you play against Labyrinth, they hard you Erad, you like pack your shit up. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you don't. There's no
It's
chain
not
block.
only that. There is also
Transaction
the
rollback,
evil
but
disciple.
the trap has to already be in your graveyard. How are you getting it there in the graveyard for it to copy?
Goods.
Like okay, but okay, you have to activate Foolish Bearer Goods, and then you have to like draw a Chandelier with the transaction rollback. I think, I think
No, I
it's
mean,
fine, you know.
the only card I would ban is Eradicator. Like that's probably the only card I would take in consideration for a ban. Like I don't care about any of the floodgate. You can limit everything at 1. I don't care, but Eradicator, like we saw it in like multiple times. I think Eradicator has to go. Like
Yeah.
for Skill Drain, I don't really care. Like Skill Drain can be also a 5 copies. Like the card to play around Skill Drain is very easy to make. I think like no like it's not like every deck can play around Skill Drain nowadays. Or even if you play Book of Moon and Book of Eclipse in your main deck that now the current meta requires it, you can play around Skill Drain.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with Skill Drain. I do have a sort of an issue against Anti-Spell because kinda limits interaction, but at least doesn't destroy or doesn't kill you instantly as Eradicator. Like once Eradicator is activated, there is not anymore a grind game. Once you activate Anti-Spell, you need a combo to protect your Anti-Spell, otherwise you win by setting your spells, because then on the crackback you're gonna win the game, right? So Anti-Spell didn't always function, or even when we were testing it is also. Skill Drain, in my opinion, is not an issue. There can be only one, is a limitative strategy that might be limited, in my opinion. Like I can see that, and Deep Barrier is kind of whatever. Like there are so many cards that act as a Deep Barrier. We are just not using those because Deep Barrier is just the most optimal one, but there are many others.
Yeah.
Like DDG, for example.
Yeah.
DDG is actually crazy good against combo decks.
Yeah. DG is also a pretty good flood. Okay, so let's talk about the Dragon Link deck next, because it literally just won Worlds, and it actually has been doing really well in the regional scene. I've seen that it tops about like, I think 4 out of so like, you know, the format's really wide right now, but it's still like within the top 5 decks that I've seen in terms of top rate percentages. At like the regional this past weekend and the regional before. So, and the deck is like one of the strongest mid-range decks in the game, in my opinion. And not a lot of hand traps really beat it, except I think Droll. Like you can't even nib the deck optimally half the time. So like the only cards that really interact with it is like I think Droll and Lockbird, and maybe a well-timed Ash on like Ravine or Chaos Space, right? So other than that, the deck just pushes through everything else pretty much.
Okay, we saw during the Worlds format, Lubellion was at 1, Magramut was at 1, right? Druis was at 1, and the deck was still popping.
Yes, the deck was still
Now-
popping. He was doing
Okay.
like he was cooking. Like he was doing full combo of current TCG with Mag Lubellion at 1. It was actually troll. I was like, bro, what is this
Okay,
ban
now,
list?
I'll tell you one thing. You don't touch the striker dragon. That's all I'm saying. You don't touch the striker because you are gonna kill the deck. The deck like actually went over through multiple hits, and we survived through that, and we adapted.
Yeah.
We don't kill the striker, please, bro. Like it's like the only barrier of hope that we are left with. And if you do that, I'm gonna buy pitchfork and come to your house in order to start a riot with my fans.
What? No, I'm not gonna ban Striker Dragon. I think Striker Dragon can be kept at 1. I think it should be kept at 1.
Okay, thank you. Like what we can do in order to hit the consistency, in order to limit the power of the deck, is ban the Cow Space. Like
Wait,
that's the
okay,
only card.
this is a crazy take. Hear me out. This is a crazy take. What if we ban Magnamut? It's a crazy take though, because I know
I'm
it's
not against it.
it's a crazy take.
Not against it.
But didn't the OCG
Nah, I'm
ban
not
Magnamut
against it.
too? They banned it, right?
I'm not against it. Yeah, I don't care about ban. Like you can ban Magnamut. I don't care. I don't care if you ban Magnamut.
It's either Mag
like,
at
as soon
1
as I
or
have
Mag
Saronir,
ban.
like
Oh,
as
this
soon
one's
as
a
I
1.
have still 3 Saronir, 3 Lubellion, I can set up the rotation of Saronir and Lubellion. I can still end on double. Like I can still end on Regain, then like Beast. Instead of Magnamut, I'll just put back again the.
Now, honestly,
the level 1.
let's put all the Bistos at 1. I actually like how the OCG did it. I think Serena's at 3 in OCG, right? But
Yeah,
I actually
it's-
like Mag and Juice at 1.
Saron is literally the best. Like, it's actually the best bestial, by the way. Like, people, like, the misconception of people thinking that Saronir is not the best bestial is crazy. Like, Saronir plays around Troll and Lockbird. That card is broken.
Yeah,
Like, putting Lubellion in the graveyard, putting again in the graveyard with the beast face up is actually broken.
Yeah.
Like, please don't touch it. No, never mind. I was joking. Like, Saronir is ass. Put that shit at 3.
Nah, I put Serenade at 1, and then we'll have Baldrick at 3, and we'll put all these good Bistos at 1 then. And then Lubellion to 1. I think this makes Striker Dragon. And I'll keep Kick Launch at 3, to be honest. And I feel like this makes Dragon way more like you know what I'm saying? Like way more like fine. Like I feel like this is a good way to hit the deck without killing it. It hits consistency a little bit, and I think this is good. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I like that a lot, to be honest. Let's go, baby.
KS Space.
Striker gang, raise up.
I wouldn't
Come
hit.
to me.
KS Space. To be honest, I think you keep it.
Thank God. Thank God.
All right. Okay.
Holy.
Let's talk about the
Yo,
contentious cards.
Clueless.
Let's talk about this.
Okay,
Sprite
yeah,
engine.
bro, like,
Bro, the Sprite
what did
engine.
the Sprite do? Okay, like, the Sprite was always a super
It's not about what
engine.
it
Like,
did, but like the fact that it's everywhere. You know?
yeah, bro, like, because people have no monies. So they are keeping the striker cards and, like, they are
What?
keeping the Sprite cards and they just play Sprite for fun, to be honest. Because that's what turned it into, like, into a fun super engine. That's it. Like Dinkham Fam was so down bad that he built Sprite going second. Like with the 3 Dark Hole, 3 Raigeki, 3 Trust, 3 Talent, 3 like you know, like he's so down bad that he has to build that shit going second for how much it sucks.
Okay. So
And also Ibli is a card, but Ibli we're gonna ban that shit.
yeah, I think we have to ban Ibli. We have to ban Ibli. I think I'm down to ban Ibli because of how cancer this card is. Literally.
Yeah, I think Sprite, to be honest, I always think that Sprite was fair. I'm sorry, like, I actually cannot see Sprite being, like, I think the deck is good, okay, to an extent, but I don't think the deck is that broken. I don't think the deck is that broken that serves another hit. Like, leave that shit alone.
Okay, how about this? I have an idea. What if we put Ibli to banned, and we put all the Sprite cards back at 3? So we put starter to 3, which was, I think, a meme hit anyways. Hitting starter was a meme anyway, so let's put it back to 3 for all the, all the players, and you keep Blue and Jet at 3 as well. So I think you just run it. I actually kind of agree.
Yeah.
I've never been impressed by Sprite. I think it's okay, but
Like, the issue was Elf. Like,
F was cancer.
you leave Jet, you leave Blue, and okay, like, in my opinion, it's fair. Like, okay, you go into Gigant, but you have to play main phase 1. If you don't clear my board in main phase 1, like, you don't win. Like, Sprite cannot play main phase, like, cannot play main phase 2. Like, the main issue of Sprite is the fact that cannot play main phase 2.
Yeah.
That's why people are down bad playing the going second strategy, because they need to clear in main phase 1. That's crazy.
Yep.
Like, Dark Hole, Raigeki, like, yes, run that shit.
The next thing I want to talk about was the Dragon Rule. I don't know if you saw, they released a new Dragon Ruler XYZ in the OCG. Have you seen it?
Bro, I always peep, you know me. Also, I have a database of OCG, like, you know Road of the King?
Yeah.
Road of the King has nothing compared to the things I have. on my computer. I have all the tops in China, Taiwan, and Japan in all the locals. And like I have way more stuff than the Road of the Kings posts because I picked the secret goo from the Japanese website.
Ah, I see. Okay. All right. Anyways, Dragon Rulers. Let's talk about them. I think Dragon Rulers will all come back.
Can go back. Can go back. Welcome back, my brothers. It was a long ride. It was
I
a
think
long
we put them
journey.
all at one. What do you think?
That was a long journey, my brother. They deserve to come back. I don't have any issue with that.
I think they come back because of the fact that they're printing a new Dragon Rule XYZ. So I think conceptually these cards and if you looked at historical ban lists, they've been slowly coming back at one, you know? Slowly and slowly and slowly. So I think finally we're gonna see Dragon Rulers all at one together again. You know?
Okay. I'm fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen because like Konami is not gonna do that. It's too many cards to a limit.
All right, we have a fun one here, but I don't know if you want to talk about the fun one now. Like Harper.
I love it.
What do you think?
I love it. Like if you know me, you would know how big of an Orcusta fan I am, and also I love bro, combo decks are like woman. Okay.
What?
You love them in every shape. So that's why.
Wait, I feel like Orcus was a mid-range deck.
Orcus like ARP is like woman. You love them in every shape. Okay, you will have to adapt. So basically, we will put back ARP to one at least.
What is wrong with you? All right, sure, you can have
ARP
at one, bro.
I didn't say anything weird this time.
No, yeah, that was not weird at all. Little sussy baka.
Let me cook.
All right, let's talk about the runic engine. Okay, guys, can we agree that Founding the 2 was kind of a meme last format? That was kind of a meme, no? That was kind of a meme. So now let's actually talk about the runic strategy. I actually think we have to hit the runic deck. I actually think we hit everything else. The runic deck is actually too OP, in my opinion. I think you put Fountain to 1, and I think you either ban Hugin, keep Fountain at 3, or you put Fountain to 1 and you keep everything else.
Yo, you sure don't want to keep Fountain to 2 like Konami was doing that on Master Duel?
Okay, so I think
Master Duel. If you think about it, Master Duel is like woman. I will never understand that.
What? You're so stupid. Alright, so I think the issue is Hugin. Like, if you actually want to kill this deck, you actually hit Hugin.
Wait, Fountain at 1?
No, you can keep Fountain at 2, Tip at 3, and you ban Hugin. What do you think?
Okay, so what you wanna do? You wanna ban Hugin at all?
I think you ban Hugin and
Fountain at 3 and Tip at 3?
Because the issue, you know what the issue with Hugin is? The issue with Hugin is that every runic card in your deck is an instant fusion to get access to Fountain. That's the issue.
Okay, that's an issue, yes. But now, like, I do agree on that. I can see your point. I can definitely see your point.
I think if you ban Hugin, people have to play Tip and Terraforming. They have to play Terraforming and shit now. Like, obviously, because you can't search it. And maybe you do AFD combos. Maybe that's the goo. Maybe you play, like, Ancient Fairy Dragon or something like that.
Oh, so you want to try to, like...
I try to, move away from the deck being a mid-range killer.
Okay. So you wanna try to find...
I think if you hit Hugin... Because if you hit Hugin, it also makes the Blue Jet and Starter at 3 fair. Does that make sense? If you ban Hugin, Blue Jet and Starter at 3 is actually so good. And you leave everything else.
Sure.
Like, I think this actually fixes the issue of like, how broken it is. But if
you ban Hugin, you solve also the issue of the sprite, right?
You solve the issue of the sprite engine, yeah. I think you can do 2 and 3, no problem. And just play people have to play Terraforming now. Okay.
Oh, wait, 1 second. Are you actually serious? Fontana 2?
Fontana 2, just keep that 2, bro. Okay. Oh, Lady. Oh, I forgot to talk about Lady. What do you think? I think Lady's a 3.
Like, now Fountain is a 3. Like, Fountain is a 3 right now. Or am I wrong?
No, Fountain's at 2 right now.
Wait, 1 second. Fountain is a 2 right now? Bro, I didn't even notice, to be honest. Like,
yeah, obviously. Next, I want to talk about power spells. So let's talk about some power spells, okay? So the power spells we have are Prosperity and TTT. For Prosperity, what do you think about that? I think that card should be at 1. I think that card's actually too busted.
Okay, so Trust into Prosperity going second.
Yeah.
which makes going second decks even better.
No, but Thrust in a pod is fine in my opinion. I think my issue with Prosperity is that it's too generic. It's playing every deck right now. Rescue Ace,
No, yeah,
Unchained,
I do agree on that. I do agree
Castira.
on
Like,
that.
you want
I
me to keep
do.
naming decks? You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's too
I do
broken.
agree on that. It's more like now the going second decks will have more prosperity. That's what I'm thinking about.
Because Prosperity is just so busted. Like, literally any card in your deck.
Yes, just because it's busted, just because you are right, it's busted. Now there are like people are gonna be thrust into prosperity, right?
No, but if you go only when you go second, sure, maybe that's it. Only when you go second. But Thrust into Prosperity, who cares? I don't care about that. I think the issue with Thrust is Prosperity is when you go first with Prosperity, and it literally grabs any card of your engine or it grabs the floodgate. Like the issue with Prosperity is that like when you go first with that, it's literally a flood or an engine card. There's no in between. Like it's actually foul.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And going second, it grabs a board breaker. Like starting your turn off with Prosperity also makes card like Hobby Feather Duster like way more broken.
Also, I know like the theory about trusting the prosperity might seem foul, but it's not. It doesn't sound so bad if you think more about it. But I mean, I'm not gonna go in details about it. But yes, I do agree. Prosperity at 1 is
Prosperity at 1, bro. Talent. What do you think about talent?
talent is. I hate this card. I hate this card so much. I do think this card should never exist because cause of this card, every format has a rotation in between
Or TGT is
entraps
good.
and board breaker
Yeah.
at the start, at the mid of the format, and the end of the format, and it's all cause of talent.
Yeah.
Like this card should not exist. I don't think Konami will touch this card. I don't think they realized how broken is this card because the issue about this card is it changed the format by only existing. That's how broken this card is. You don't need to play this card for changing a format. It's competitive players that will have to take talent in consideration and they will make the format shift even if talent is not played. That's how broken this card is. I do hate this card in every shape, form.
Yeah, I think talents are so cancer because of the fact that looking at your opponent's hand is almost never okay. That's number one. like imagine that you you're feeling confident, you play against a combo deck, you're like, man, these hand traps are gonna stop his turn, hopefully. Then you literally you activate a hand trap. It's like obviously not enough to beat the combo deck. They talents look at your hand, you just like pack your shit up. Like it's actually so busted. And literally like a lot of times you can't even play around. Like what are you gonna do? Not hand trap your opponent, let them play for free? You know what I'm saying? I'm for example, I was testing Rescue Ace, right? My opponent drolled me. Yeah. I go, all right, activate emergency, summon turbulence, set 4. But before I did that, I went talents, look at his hand, rip Imperm out of his hand. How foul was that? That was so foul. I ripped Imperm out of his hand, and then I set 4 on his ass under droll. So he has 3 cards in hand. I have 4 sets. Like it's so disgusting. Like that's actually disgusting.
Set 4 on his ass.
All right, I'm putting CDZ to 1. I'm sorry, Konami. Just hit this. What did you do to Kuklock? Ryan, some shit gotta go, know what I'm saying? Some shit gotta go, dog. We don't need you at full power, you know what I'm saying? When you play that shit at 3 at Toronto Regional, this is what happened, all right? You decided to play 3 at the Toronto Regional, and now some things, it's an eye for an eye, you know what I'm saying? An eye for an eye. You win the regional, you lose Kuklock. You know what I'm saying? That's the point that's where we're at right now. So we gotta do what we gotta do. All right. Anyways, later for
I'm about to play set of TTT today. I'm sorry, G. Sell that shit back.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about my boy, or my girl, or whatever this animal is. All right. Big Purr. What do you think about the Big Purr?
I mean, what you wanna do to this? Like, you cannot ban it, right?
Yeah.
You can if you limit it, sure, kind of whatever. Who gives a fuck? Like, just leave that shit.
He's him, the Big Purr, dog. Big Purr. Meow. Okay. So, what do you think? Like, obviously, okay, we're not putting it at 1. We're not putting it at 2. Obviously, that's troll. It's either 0 or 3.
I mean, if you put it on 0, you kill the deck. I hope you don't do it, right?
The expertly happiness, the goo, bro. What are you talking about? I'm trolling. Okay, look. I think we leave it at 3. And I think I think we should have had Delicious on this list because I forgot about it. But I was thinking about we should put Delicious to 2 and then Sleepy to 1. That was I was thinking about that. So I'll put this in a 2 to discuss it. Maybe we can talk about that after. But I was thinking about like Delicious to 2, Sleepy to 1, or just Sleepy to 1. Yeah, put Sleepy to 1, have 1 Sleepy, 1 Delicious, and I think the deck is fine. You know. Yeah, you said the consistency.
1 sleepy, 1 delicious. I can see it. Like 1 sleepy, 1 delicious.
Yeah, because the
people are
deck's
gonna
really
complain
consistent
about
right now.
this.
Yeah, you just put I think you put Pearly in the world's list. Like you just copy the world's
Yeah.
list for Pearly. Just put 1 delicious.
I was actually testing the words list of Purely.
Yeah.
With 1 delicious, 1 sleepy.
1 Sleepy. Yeah.
There are so many tech cards. Like if we talk about tech cards, there is actually a tech card that I discussed about. I think.
Oh, the goo. Yeah, you don't talk about the goo.
Yeah, you know what? That it's called the Guucast for a reason. Might
Yes.
as well just unleash the goo.
Right? Yeah. I came up with this.
So the card that we are talking about is called Inferno Reckless Summon. That's used going second in Purely.
For the going second Pearly deck, yeah. Do you guys know about the
the
Infernal Reckless Summon Goo? Yeah, know about that card? Who knows? Yeah, that card is really neat. Because it allows you to summon like 3 white casts from your deck and just like mill 9, basically. So yes.
So I was testing this version, like shout out to Gabriel Susi that came out with this. And I was testing this version for Worlds. And to be honest, going second was like very like super viable. I didn't feel like the it because like I had Foolish Goods to send Delicious, I had Foolish Goods to send Metal for Fusion. I could play like the draw stuff, like the draw cards, like the Dark Words.
Yep.
And I still had good 9 flex spots, and I could definitely play going second. Like my main concern was like like if you wanna kill the deck, you eat the
You hit one of the quick plays.
happiness. Like if you eat happiness, I would say I'm not touching this shit no more.
Yeah,
But if you eat any other quick spell, I don't care.
Yeah, because Happiness made that deck playable at Nats even. Like the fact that when you go second, you have such an insane line with Happy is actually crazy. But okay, I think I can agree with that. It's not on the list, but if people listen, in, they would have seen it. Okay, let's talk about the next.
Like, you can edit it in.
Yeah, we can edit it in. The next 2 cards are Brand Fusion and the Puppet Lock. So what do you think about Brand Fusion? You think it stays at 3? I know in OCG, remember at World's List they put Brand Fusion to 1, right? I think they put Brand Fusion to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Brand Fusion to 1 is like makes sense or what?
I think it absolutely makes sense to put it to 1. And my heart is pumping right now, and I'm crying. But it actually makes a lot of sense to 1. Like I do actually agree on putting Brand Fusion to 1.
Yeah, because it makes it so that your deck actually loses some impermanence, right? On like Aluber now. Obviously, like you can play around it by summoning Cartesian.
Psych! Keep that shit at 3! Run it, boys! Run it!
What the hell? Well, see you later, Brandon Fusion. Alright. Okay. What about the Puppet Lock? Do you think you just ban? I guess you just ban Sanctifier, right? Or what?
No, wait. Why we wanna ban Sanctifier? Like, just ban the Puppet Lock. Fuck it. Like, Sanctifier is fine. Like, it's also like newly released. The card is mostly not even used. Like, the Puppet Lock is actually the issue.
Yeah. Yo, this is my hot take. I think Gazelle goes to 3. No cap. Especially after the new salad card comes out.
Run it. To be honest,
that deck is actually good.
I don't feel the difference.
I don't
feel the difference. I don't feel the difference. People are playing Gazelle at 1. It feels like it's a 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference right now? There are so many access to Gazelle that makes even. Yes, it does play around draw better.
I guess you always play around draw anyways, but the normal summon loses to draw kind of in a way.
Yes, it does. Like you end on a very average board, to be honest. Like if you don't start with Gazelle. If you start with Gazelle, you play perfectly around draw. But what I'm saying is like doesn't feel like it's at 1. Like every time like they have Gazelle in rotation, every turn they're gonna go for a Gazelle line. The card does not feel at 1. Like if you were not telling me, yo Nash, Gazelle is at 1, I wouldn't even know that. Like Gazelle doesn't
there's
feel
a lot
at
of lines
1.
to get to Gazelle, 100%. But I think having the card at 3 is like gonna be really nice.
Sure, I don't see
Yeah.
the difference, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think like he's gonna boost the deck enough to make it maybe come back as a tier 2, maybe bottom 1.5 if everything goes as planned, but
Yep.
I don't feel that. Yeah.
Okay.
So next one.
Let's talk about hand traps, right? Like floodgate hand traps, basically, right? Like Droll and Shifter are considered flood hand traps because they, have lingering effects applied to your opponents, right? Or technically two players with Shifter. And Droll is technically two players as well. What do you think about Droll and Shifter, like these lingering floodgates hand traps?
Okay, so I do have a take on Droll which is different from the take of Shifter. If you think about Droll, it's basically it's our
Maxi.
Maxi from Wish. From Wish though. Like it
I feel
does
like you
not
almost
have the
need
same.
Droll to be in because what do you want to happen? Like you get fucking slapped by the combo decks. Like you don't even like some of the combo decks like
no,
don't even give you a chance. Like
you need to play Droll against combo decks right now. I do think that that's the only card that's like power gatekeeping the format.
You know what's crazy? I don't even think Droll's good this format. You know what I'm saying?
I think Droll. I would side it. I wouldn't ban
Yeah,
it.
I think it's like not that crazy this format. I think people just shove it in their main deck just because like it's like
that,
they just want
there
to
are some
do it.
decks.
But
There are some decks that need to play Droll to survive.
yeah.
Or if you play a lot of Entraps, Droll is gonna be one of them. But generally speaking, I also made a spreadsheet about Entraps, like on my stream and stuff.
Yeah.
And Droll came out to not be amazing.
Yeah, Droll's not that amazing. Yeah. I think Droll is like fine. Like it doesn't do anything to a lot of the decks that are being played right now in the game actually. Like so
Yeah.
I think Droll's fine, but like obviously there are formats where Droll is really good, but those type of formats are typically because the combo decks are so broken that you kind of need to play it, you know what I'm saying? And you know what's crazy?
The more explosive is your deck, the better Droll is.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I feel the same with Shifter. Like I know Shifter is like really strong, but if you hit Cash, the only other deck that can play is like Flu Under Rees. And yeah, Shifter is like surely broken, but like I feel like yeah, but I feel like Flu and Exo needs it almost. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Purely doesn't need it, but they play it.
Yeah, Purely does play Shifter too. Vanquish still could play it. I mean, those type of decks that could play it, I think are like very like mid-range oriented deck. I guess Rescue Ace
also can play. Yeah, no, bro. Like
so what you think we should hit Shifter because of it? Like banish it?
I mean, I do honestly think that the card is like the worst kind of floodgate ever existed.
Why you gotta say it like that, bro?
Like you were talking about floodgates, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like you guys crying about floodgates, and then you tell me, you know what? I think Shifter is fine. Like what the fuck are we, what's the point?
All right, I'll push it that one. Shoot that one, bro. If they don't draw in their starting hand, it's a brick. I'm down. Start at one. Yo, come on, bro. Just put at one. It's no biggie.
Bro, they're gonna roast us in the comments section.
Do it.
I'm gonna read all of them, and they're gonna be like,
Gamma's at one. Gamma's at one. You know? Push it that one. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. All right, what about Miss? What do you think about Miss? You think Miss can come back or not?
Yo, can I have Miss back at 2, bro? Like, I'm not asking a lot, right?
I think Miss at 2. I think Miss at 2. Miss at 2 for fun, for jokes. For jokes. Just have some fun,
Okay, no, let's talk about the Calamity.
Just have some fun,
Actually, no, I want to keep the Calamity last. Let's go Glow Up and Trident.
I think Glow Up...
I want to keep the Calamity last. There is a lot to talk about.
Isn't there like... Globe is actually too busted, in my opinion.
Bro, we already have Glow Up. What the hell are you saying?
I think Jet Synchron is Globe, right? A Revolution Synchron?
Revolution Synchron is Glow Up. Jet Synchron is Glow Up. Like, we already have Glow Up. What the hell are you saying right now? Put that shit back at 3. It can be also a 5. I don't give a fuck.
Alright, run it. Alright, man. If y'all get nappies and shit, don't come.
Nah, bro, there are some Natural Beast combo, but there is also Revolution Synchro. Come on, bro. Like, there is Revolution Synchro. That shit is earth. Come on, brother. Please.
Yeah,
let's be real for a second.
Okay, look, so with the new... So if you guys are paying attention to, like, Agov, in the new Agov set, there's, like, the new Diablo Star cards that are coming out. And that engine allows you to basically 2-route a free level 1 fire monster from your deck. One of the cards, to no one's surprise, is Jet Synchron. And Jet Synchron is a level 1 tuner that kind of like does what Globe Up does, except like it sends a card from your hand. But it's kind of like that level 1 tuners are actually more accessible now than ever. So Maybe Gold Bulb at 3 would be a little bit too much. You can put it back to 1, I think. Because I think like at 3 is a little too excessive with like Revolution Synchron. I think Tier will play it, but I guess Tier's already playing Revolution Synchron, but they'll just play Revolution Synchron and Glow Bulb, so it's like 1 and 1, you know. But I don't know.
Okay, what do you think about Dry?
Drying it, I don't want it to come back, to be honest. I think like any rank full toolbox deck could just make Drying for free and make a really big Zeus, which is I think is a problem, to be honest.
It's too accessible to any sort of deck.
It's too accessible in any sort of rank 4 strat. Any deck that put two level 4s together is basically a Dryden deck, right? It just puts up Dryden, right?
Yeah.
It's too easy.
Pops attacks directly, make it Zeus. Like that's too big. Yeah.
Yeah, and
like,
then okay, what do you think about
Titan,
Calamity?
then make it Zeus.
Last card on the
There
list.
is a lot to talk about it actually. I think I have like a 10-minute speech.
All right.
Are you ready, guys? So first of all, in Vanadium, we saw this card popping off recently. It was already played back in the days, but back in the days it was not as consistent right now as man, with the level modulation that the Vanadium Mic has, and all the shenanigans with the Crimson Dragon. Okay, like we saw this. In my opinion, Vanadium playing this card, I think it's very bad. I don't think the deck gets better by playing an FTK cards because it's not even an FTK card against other decks. Kills your extra deck, kills your recovery. But there is an issue about this card actually that you will only know this maybe in almost 2 months.
I know with Agov, I've been on that, bro.
In OCG, there is Centurion. Centurion makes Calamity with 1 card. So we cannot keep this. Basically, just trust me on this chat. Like we can go over the combo, the lines, and so. It's a 1-card Calamity. So let's avoid just to wrap our head. Let's try to fix the issue before it starts to be actually an issue. Because right now, in my opinion, it's not an issue. But it's gonna be an issue with Centurion. 100%. Okay, that's it.
I have looked into the Centurion cards. I kind of agree with you. We can avoid the issue before we get there. Because the Centurion cards do it with literally 1 card. And all of the Centurion cards are pretty much the same card, literally. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the tier list. Guys, tier lists are very controversial. A lot of people have their own opinions. I'm curious to see what you have in the comment section below.
I mean, there are some hot takes here.
There's some hot takes here for sure. Yeah, there's some hot takes here for sure. So let us know what you think. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the special episode of the Guucast today, where we talk about the list. Okay, so hopefully we get one soon. I'm excited to get something something spicy is fresh up the meta again. But as it currently stands, we're just gonna play with what we currently have. So I'll see y'all later. Peace.